Anshul. Anshul has done her doctorate in HR from Christ University, Bangalore. She has an avid interest in the area of workplace spirituality and has also received an MPhil for the same. She has been an HR professional and has been practicing meditation for the last 19 years. She was always intrigued to find meaning at workplace through work. That is why she wanted to pick up this topic for her research. She is also a Six Sigma Green Belt and has done extensive research in Kaizen culture. Ladies and gentlemen, Anshul Gupta.
Thank you, Harry, for this enchanting introduction.
Our guest of honor, our chief guest for today, he doesn't need an introduction, but still, is one and only one, Dr. Terence Lewis. Woo! Terence doesn't need an introduction, as he's a household famous name for his dance. He's a well-known personality as a TV judge, a choreographer, and a brilliant artist. But what we do not know about Terence is that he's a double degree diploma in academia, one in psychology and the other in sociology from Mumbai-20th. He also holds a hotel management and applied nutrition degree. He has received an honorary doctorate in dance from National American University in association with the Institute of Education and Research from Delhi. A well-in-demand TED Talk speaker and a powerful influencer to young minds. Please put your hands together for the most charismatic and magnetic persona, Terence Lewis.
It is such an interesting concept because spirituality के नाम पे हम जो कहते हैं ना धार्मिकता जो है हमने सब सुनाई है कि ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, लेकिन ये हमारे निजी जीवन से जुड़ा जाता है, हमारे काम के कल्चर से कभी ये शब्द नहीं जुड़ा है. So for me it's a very new thing. Maybe in the last 20-30 years this has been a new phenomenon, probably coming to the West now. कि अभी हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे काम की जगह पे भी स्पिरिचुअलिटी हो. स्पिरिचुअलिटी इज अ वेरी पर्सनल जर्नी, करेक्ट? So I'm very interested कि what research work has Anshul done, Dr. Anshul done to realize the importance and the value of this. And I also want to know from her personal life anecdotes, what is the reason कि आपने ये टॉपिक चुना? शायद कुछ ना कुछ हुआ होगा आपकी जिंदगी में या आपकी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में कि आपने ये सोचा कि ये बुक लिखना जरूरी है और ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है जो अभी भी डेवलप हुआ है इसको बहुत अच्छी तरह से लोगों के सामने प्रेजेंट करना और कंपनीज के सामने प्रेजेंट करना, ये जो आपने डायरेक्टर लिया ये क्यों लिया एंड व्हाट वाज द रीजन?
Before all the research doing, I did work with the query for second work. I did check out quite meeting at time. And over a period of time, I found that how much they were dealing. There is a gap. I always found that there's something lacking. We are doing so much effort in terms of human resources, but there's something that is lacking that we're not able to tap in the employee. So then I think around research and then over a period of time we did a lot of readings and meeting people, and we then came up with this particular concept of workplace spirituality, and wherein we found that maybe by implementing these particular principles we will be able to tap the spirit of the employees, which is the highest level of engagement that the employee can have, and the employee will benefit the best from it. It will have a direct impact to the organization prospect.
तो जनरली ये कहा जाता है, ये बहुत लोगों ने मैंने सुना भी है कि workplace is a place where you work, you earn, you have to perform, you have to give results, पैसा बनाना है, profitability important है, जो गणित है It's all about your balance sheet and profit and loss, and making money. And spirituality, sometimes, in certain cases, spirituality, it's about giving up so many things, and it looks like as though it's on the opposite axis of ambition.
Satyaka.
Ah.
So when we talk about workplace spirituality, we are not telling you to leave anything. You are obviously working, and you are working for money, and you are working for profitability. The bottom line is important, but the process of it, how do you reach there? So when we say workplace spirituality, it says about finding meaning in life through work. So when a person searches meaning through work and at workplace, the person is not just working for money. The person goes beyond the call of duty. The person is thoroughly engaged and is taking a lot of proactive initiative. Employee has a feeling of belongingness over there. It feels accepted. His values and organizational values match. We are also saying that it is very essential to have compassion at work. Having empathy at work. Understanding the person as a whole who's coming in, what the person is going through in the personal life, in the professional life, what are the challenges the person is facing. So on these four pillars, we are saying that stands the concept of workplace spirituality.
What are those four pillars once again?
Meaning in life through work, interconnectedness, your values and organizational values matching, and having compassion at work.
So you're saying that the employee has to first have its own understanding of what spirituality they want at the workplace for themselves as an organization, and then find an employee who will either resonate or make him come up to that level while you are hiring him itself in the process. So hire करने के पहले ही you introduce them to these concepts and check whether their spiritual process or their meaning in life or their sense of how they see themselves and the job is in congruence with what the company wants in terms of spiritual index. Interview के टाइम पे सब बहुत अच्छा बात करते हैं, फिर जाके पता जाता है कि ये तो मतलब इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे बड़े प्रॉमिस किए, बहुत अच्छे आंसर्स दिए, मतलब इससे बेहतर जवाब तो कोई दे भी नहीं सकता.
Absolutely, no one's going to tell you the interview.
Exactly. So, what is the psychometric test? But I do know that psychologists, because I studied psychology, and I have some great psychometric tests also, where even if you try to be clever, have the correct personality picture. So, are there some psychometric tests where there is no good answer? There is only an answer that you can choose. Both the answers are good, so that you really come to know what this person is all about. Like for example, off the record, I know the Enneagram test is an amazing test. Briggs Myers is another test, right? The attachment styles. If you want to understand about relationships, and the attachment style project is amazing. So there are these three amazing tests that I swear by. I'm sure there must be amazing tests to check on their spiritual processes also. So
before we come to the recruitment process, we first when we're implementing workplace spirituality, we need to discuss with the leadership team of what their idea of workplace spirituality is and how does it resonates with the pillars of which we are discussing. And then based on that, we will have the definition of workplace spirituality for the organization. Then we will have the competency framework, and based on competency framework, we will have scales. So these scales are always tested for their reliabilities and validities, and there are pilots done. So they are more or less very rigorous. So those scales we'll be using to measure the individual workplace spirituality of employees which are currently existing.
So some people can take advantage of the workplace spirituality. They can say कि अच्छा ये लोग तो मतलब बहुत धार्मिक लोग हैं, इनको हम निचोड़ेंगे, we can be lazy and we can not be productive. So somewhere it can backfire. So how do you protect that?
So when we put system in place, obviously there are checks, and we are nowhere saying that your balanced scorecard performance management system is not going to get implemented. It is going to get implemented, but in the balanced scorecard, if there are 4 parameters, there will be a 5th parameter which gauges you on your level of workplace spirituality. We are telling that you imbibe in the current system.
So it's an add-on, not a subtraction. Great. Super.
Were there any challenges you faced, like something which, like, for example, my target my page on positive figures, or this were the, yeah, any challenges?
As Terence had rightly said, doing research, writing a book is always a very lonely process. So you have to be.
He said that.
He said that.
I've written a film, so can I?
You know, what is man face?
Yeah, the challenges.
So what happens is sometimes people come with you, sometimes people don't come with you. What the major challenge that I face over here is the mindset of spirituality, religion. Oh, should be the organization should we get associated with it? If we get associated with it, then okay, we'll be propagating something, we will have a negative publicity, and all of those things. That was one of the major reasons why many organizations also did not participate for the pilot.
Because people always feel when we talk about spirituality, it might get related
Yeah.
to religion. They don't want
Religion, people will say अरे अभी हमको मेडिटेट करना पड़ेगा, जबरदस्ती दिखाना पड़ेगा यार, क्योंकि बॉस धार्मिक हो गया.
So what we are saying is we are not putting a religion or any school of thought or even any process down anyone's throat.
So it's very neutral.
It's very neutral. It's only following certain principles which are taken from spirituality.
Basically, more inclusiveness. Can we say spirituality for me is inclusivity, and accepting both the darker and the light shade. That's as opposed to religion that says only one aspect and not the other. So basically, being a little bit more inclusive in everything.
Not just inclusive, it is about not telling at all that you have to follow anything of what is currently known of religion or spirituality.
Of equality, of मजाक किसी का मजाक नहीं उड़ाना है, किसी को छोटा नहीं महसूस कराना है, भेदभाव नहीं हो सकता जाति पर, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं हो सकता. So ये सब हम बताते हैं इंडक्शन में. और question I want to ask is that how does now there's me as a boss, then there are team leaders, then there are everything. So there's a hierarchy. ये मैंने बोल के गया हूँ, लेकिन how is it that the employees feel कि ये जो workplace spirituality है, ये on a day-to-day basis, how is it being implemented? Who's checking कि ये बंदा गलत कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है? What are those checks? Who is there to guide them and say देखो आपने कल ऐसा बात किया ना, this is not good to talk. Who is doing that? Whether it's leaders, whether it's or even in a meeting में किस तरीके से लोग बात करते हैं? For example, what if the boss itself, I mean, suppose the supervisor, अगर suppose वही थोड़ा सट्टा हुआ है, बातें बड़ी करता है, लेकिन वही खुद follow नहीं करता, then how do you manage that?
So when we are implementing this particular initiative, what we are saying is that like any change, there will be resistance. And there has to be catalysts and change agents, change champions at all levels to keep these steps.
So you have to hire people for this?
No.
Yeah.
At all levels, there will be people who resonate with what the organization wants to do.
Yeah.
So those people will be informal champions.
Be the informal vanguards holding those principles.
Say that there will be constant speakers or something like that. But they will be certainly championing the cause. So when there are daily meetings, there are daily meetings. So first is the manager or the leadership team has to acknowledge that yes, we failed. Because that acknowledgement is important.
Yes, that's a good thing. That's what I want to do. The acceptance. That's the first thing of spirituality.
So after that acceptance has been done, and obviously you give the promotion, you give the what is the due to the employee. But at the same time, it is very important that his esteem is taken care of. And yes, acknowledge on the company's forum that yes, we made this error. And yes, we stand by these principles. Even then there was a gap, and we will fill the gap and glad that this gap doesn't come up. And if you feel that the gap has come up, please come back to us. We will address it.
My question is, what advice would you like to give to the younger generation who want to embrace or imbibe corporate spirituality?
First, the MBA students, the students who are learning. So, we propose that the principles of workplace spirituality first get imbibed in what the MBA students are learning, because then that becomes easier to get implemented at workplace, because those people who go and enter workplace. So it becomes a part of their system, and they don't need not change their mindset. Okay, I'm used to
So you're saying that this book should not go to corporates, it should first go to the MBA schools and all the institutions. So at least उनका दिमाग ठीक करके फिर आप नौकरी के लिए कैंपस इंटरव्यूज में जाओ. And it's not the job of the corporate to train the. And I also believe that it's so hard to train people differently, and most of the time they come wounded. So it's better that you get clarity in your work, in your college itself, in your institution itself. First, your career guidance path, then narrowing it down to the ikigai principles, and then probably narrowing it down to maybe knowing what your value and what your strengths are, and the opportunities you place. This is not the first book, because when I read it, I realized that there are certain missing chapters. So मैंने उसको पूछा कि ये सब किधर है, डॉक्टर ये क्या, ये थोड़ा अधूरा रह गया. So Dr. Anshul, would you give light to and leave it to the audience to know what is happening next?
So yeah, we're in the process of writing the book, which will have answers which are left unanswered here, and also on the measurement aspect it will cover in the book.
So basically, this is the concept and the idea. ये बीज है, फिर जो जड़ बन के फिर वो जो पेड़ बनेगा, उसके बाद जो फल निकलेगा, उसका सब आंसर आएगा book 2 में, and hopefully book 3 also with more details. So I think it just gets better. इसका एक कल्पना करना, उसके बाद उसको actually लिखना और उसको बहुत सोच समझ के लिखना. And she's not just a nobody, she's a doctor, and she's a doctor in this subject. So in so many ways, plus she has work ex. So in so many ways, this is going to be a great book. She is technically authorized to write a book like this, and she has the knowledge and mastery of the subject. So then in that sense, all the education institutions, whoever is listening and watching this, I think it's a great way to, instill the values of what work-life spirituality should be. Because if it starts from there, then half the battle is done. It's like, if you have got good parenting, then you will definitely be a good spouse, husband, whatever. Good in everything, not necessarily being married, but even just being a good friend, being a good human being would be easy. So it starts at home. So I think workplace spirituality then have to start in schools and colleges. Thank you.